is up, y'all? It is your host, Rennie, and you're listening to another episode of the Call Me Crazy podcast.
All right, I'm good. I'm good. Okay.
All right, what is up, y'all? It is your girl, Rennie, and today I'm here with Daniel.
Hey, guys. Daniel.
So I believe this is now the 4th episode of the Funk of Photography on my podcast, Call Me Crazy. And this is the 2nd episode that is an official episode. So the first 2 were Instagram Lives, and you are the 2nd official podcast
In 1 week,
episode.
you did all that?
2 weeks.
Okay, that's a lot. That's
so
good.
In 2 weeks, 2 consecutive weeks, I had Instagram Lives, and then on the 2nd week, which is this week, I recorded on Monday with my friend Jess, and then now I'm here recording with you today, and today's Wednesday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
So yeah, happy to have you here.
Awesome. Happy to be here. I hope you like the work.
Yes.
I hope you like the work. Okay.
I mean, I liked it enough to sit down with you. So.
All right. Cool.
Yes. So when did you first get into photography? Because I know it wasn't your main shtick for a while.
No. So it started when I was working in music. It got to a point where music budgets were going down, like really low. And I was working at a restaurant full time. I had to go work at the restaurant.
Give us the timeline.
I want to say started 2014.
Okay.
And then by 2016, I realized this isn't working. I need to start filming myself making music, because that was the Ryan Leslie route and all the other people were doing it and it was working. So I figured I'd try that. And I rented a camera from a friend of mine. It was a Rebel T2i, Canon Rebel. And I think I was paying him like $25 a week. Okay. So he basically just said, keep the shutter speed at 50, don't go past X amount for ISO, f-stop controls brightness. That was it. It's very quick.
And you were only filming?
Literally just filming myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went on Instagram one day and I saw this guy. I looked up Bridgeport, I was looking up Bridgeport on Instagram, and I saw this guy taking photos, and I really liked him. He made Bridgeport look like New York City. It was pretty dope. And he put out like a call to creatives in Bridgeport, and I emailed him, and we met up. It was literally just me and him there. There's nobody else. So he's a photographer. I'm a musician. We became friends. He introduced me to his friend, and we met some other people, and that created like our team. And from there, I didn't know what to do. I needed help. So I said, hey, why don't I film you guys taking photos, and I'll put my music to it, and that'll be a way that I can promote you guys, and I'll promote myself too. They said, all right, dope, let's do that. So as we're doing that, I'm watching them take photos, and I'm asking them questions, and I start taking photos with my phone. And after a while, my phone photos got really good. And remember, I was working at the restaurant full time at the time. There was an agency behind the restaurant. And one of the girls there would follow me on Instagram. And she saw my photos and showed up one day to work and said, hey, our photographer can't make it. I love your stuff on Instagram. Can you come do a shoot for us? Excuse me. And I said yes. So I show up to the shoot with the same camera I'm filming with, right? The Canon Rebel T2i, maybe 8 megapixels with a kit lens. I walk in and there's a full-on staff there. There's lights, there's tables, there's product, there's props.
And so this is a coworker from the restaurant?
No, this is a woman that worked at the agency behind the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
She walks in all the time for coffee, all this stuff. And she said, can you come in? I said, yeah, sure. I don't know what to charge. So I'm like, okay, whatever you guys is a normal price, that's fine. I was just happy to make a couple $100, right? So I go in, and I was like, oh, shoot, this is the real deal. This was a very big client. That's also why they had a bunch of stuff set up. Like the fake ice, and they had the glass ice, which is expensive compared to the plastic or gel ice that you see. This is like the real deal fake ice. And
is it alcohol?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm there, nervous as hell. I get one of the interns, because they gave me an intern on top of that.
I said, hey, for the day.
I said, hey, my camera's in the shop. I don't really know how to use this one. Can you help me with it? He says, yeah, I got the same one. He sets it up for me. He sets up the lighting for me because I said I don't know how to use these lights. I'm on my phone YouTubing how to set things up when nobody's looking. And the night before I'm prepping, like, how do I shoot this camera, all this stuff. I don't know what aperture is. I don't know what ISO is. I'm shooting on auto. So I went on auto, and so he helped set it up. And I saw what his settings were. I said, okay, cool. And then I went to auto, and I looked at the settings on auto, and I tried to match them and switch it up. Took a bunch of photos. I don't even edit these photos. They take the photos, the raws, and they edit them. Like, this is a real agency.
Did they say we want the raws and we'll edit?
Yeah. This is a real agency.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
They literally just hired me to push a button. And I deliver the photos. That Friday or the next week after, I get a $3,000 check. And
that was their budget in 2014?
That was not their budget. I found out later I got played because I should have got more. But that's a whole different story. But again, I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know.
And you were happy for a couple hundred.
Exactly. They gave me $3,000. So that was my first photography job.
That's a pretty big first photography job.
Yeah, it was Absolute Vodka. So that was my first gig. And it was great. So I got the check. And that stuck in my head like, huh.
Okay,
money
now that I know it's Absolute, you definitely got played.
Oh, I got played.
You got played.
Oh, I got played 100%. The reason I found out was because a friend of mine owned the agency. We became friends. And we were talking after, like a couple years after I went to his house for a barbecue. And he's like, man, how much did you get for this? And I told him, he goes, what? You got robbed, dude. They robbed you. I'm still sitting there like, what?
That's so
He
crazy.
goes, yeah. You know, what you got paid is what you got paid for the day, but you didn't get anything off the licensing fee? I didn't know about licensing. I didn't know any of this at the time. So I said no, but now I know for next time. At the time I knew, but it was interesting how that happened. And that gave me the confidence to do this and put it in my head, this is something I should do. There's some other things that led up to that too, but that was one of the turning points. And then I was miserable at the restaurant. And I want to say like about a month or a few weeks later, the owner's wife had an issue with me because I was managing a restaurant that she was supposed to manage, and her husband didn't want her managing it because I did a better job.
Keep your marital problems
Yeah,
at
so
home.
she took a bunch of stuff out on me. And she found a way to make it look like I screwed up a very big order, like a very big catering order. And I said, you know what? I quit. No 2-week notice, no nothing. I have no money in my bank account, like nothing. I just quit. Because I said, I'm going to do this photo stuff. And I had this client that was going to, I thought it was a big deal. He was going to sign with me and give me $2,500 a month on retainer for a year. They said it was expensive.
As
Like $2,500 a month. They said that's way too much. And I'm like, no, this is fine. This is good, blah, blah. I mean, now I don't even charge that per day. But like at the time, I didn't know. I ended up driving to their company, and it was pretty far. It was like a 4-hour drive. And no one opened the door for me. So now I am at home.
You thought you had security. Security's gone.
So now I drive home. Yep. My car didn't even make it at a rental that day. So I drove home, dropped off the rental. My friend picked me up. Actually, is that when I met him? The guy from Babylon Studios?
Oh, Beethoven?
Is that how I met him? I think I met him that day. He used to work at Enterprise. He's the one that gave me a ride from Enterprise to my house.
Wow.
I think it was him. Well, to my parents' house at the time.
We'll have to ask him if he worked at Enterprise.
Well, he did. I met him at Enterprise.
You know for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't know what trip it was. I think it was that one actually. Wow. But yeah, so ended up, driving home from that, from my parents' house, drove home, and no client, no money, just a credit card with some, I didn't even have savings. And I said, all right, I'll figure this out. I maxed out my credit card, got a Canon 5D Mark III, and started my career. there.
Wow.
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you were getting into film, did you enjoy it at the time back then?
I did. I did a lot because it had a lot to do with music. And the way I edit is I pick the songs first.
That's how I do
But
it
also
too.
at the time, I was making the songs for my videos. So I would film something and then I'd go and make the beats for it or make the sounds and everything.
Oh, okay.
And then I started getting so much work that I couldn't keep up. The songs weren't, I wasn't making songs fast enough to where I could keep up. So I just started using royalty-free websites and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, now it's more about, I want to say the compositions and the visuals and the music together.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll get inspired if I see the right shot in the right composition. It's got to look good for me in the monitor. If it looks good for me in the monitor and I have a good song, it feels like a high. Like I will freak out over 2 seconds of
Yeah.
footage and just stare at those 2 seconds for hours if I could.
Yeah.
And I think it's because the video for me edits itself. So if I see one clip with the right colors, right composition, and I hear the right song, the video will be done ASAP because I already saw the edit in my head, the whole edit in my head.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what I like about filming videos is that's probably the main thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll have a full edit before I even get to my computer. I'll be on site, see the right shot in the monitor. I already have the songs saved on my phone that I'm going to use, so I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But that's the fun part about it.
Do
Yeah.
you do more, like, for your business, do you do more photography than film, though?
This year has been more photography.
Yeah.
Last year was a ton of filming. Oh my gosh, it was a bunch. But this year has been more photography. And I do enjoy it because I could work from home. I could work without headphones on. Sometimes I'll go hang out with friends and I'll edit while they're working on something.
Yeah.
You know, we could talk because I don't have headphones on. If I'm with them, I could just talk to them. Or if I'm here, I put the headphones on, listen to music. I do enjoy photography for that. It's also therapeutic. I'll just, you know, sit right there on my desk, play some jazz piano, and I'm zoned in for hours.
Yeah, I will say, like, I have never gotten into film to a technical point. As you see, I shoot on auto. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were shooting.
Yeah. So I'm not savvy with film, but I have been making YouTube videos since like 2010.
Yeah.
So I've edited a lot of videos before, and I will say, like, the one thing that's different about editing videos and editing photos is that you can change the song, because when you're editing a video for a couple of hours and you keep going back to the beginning
over and over
to the video,
it's annoying.
Yeah. By the time I export, I would watch it once more once it was live just to make sure.
It's annoying because you can't do anything else. You can't do anything else.
It's the royalty-free music too, so on top of it, it's like 75% garbage, but.
You got to go to the right spots.
Well, I've never paid for royalty-free music.
Okay, see, that's why.
Yeah, no, that's I'm admittedly.
Everything isn't. We get some amazing songs. It's gotten to the point where I listen to royalty-free songs more than actual songs. You have to know where to look. I use a company called Music Bed, and they were incredible.
Is it a membership base?
Yeah, I think it's like $20 a month.
Okay.
But it's beautiful. Amazing songs, cinematic songs. I like songs where there's like rappers on hip hop beats with rock sounds. I love those types of songs. They got a bunch of those. I love very cinematic type of stuff. They got a bunch of those. Even their pop stuff is really good. They're not good with Spanish music.
Okay.
That's gonna be hard to find. That's hard to find.
What kind of music were you making?
Was I making? It was more hip hop based, but it wasn't like. It was like hip hop pop type of music. So I was not. You'll never catch me making a drill beat ever.
Okay.
Maybe I made a trap beat because I needed the money, but it was more of like hip hop pop sort of music.
Okay.
And I did a lot of stuff for TV shows and things like that too. So that was cool. Yeah.
It became a career really 2016, you would say.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't have a choice. It had to be a career.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going back to work to somebody. So, yeah,
I
2016.
couldn't imagine you, someone who doesn't like being out, as a server.
It was fun. I was actually the manager of the restaurant, and I loved it. I did love my job. Talking to people, like, this is how good I was at it. So one day, this kid bit into a veggie sandwich, had hummus in it. He felt a piece of metal in his mouth. It was like half an inch thick of thick steel. It was steel.
Oh
It
my
wasn't
God.
aluminum, but it was, I think it was either aluminum or steel. Either way, it was metal. Kid could have cut himself. If he swallowed it, he could have cut his insides. The parents came over, furious. My kid just spit this out, blah, blah. I ran over to talk to him. I said, I apologize. Let me figure out what's happening, and then I'll get back to you. I went to the kitchen. I have this thing where I love to reverse engineer things. That's how I learned photography and videography. And that's how I figured out where that metal came from. It came from this giant can of chickpeas. The metal got into the chickpeas.
When the can was
Went
being
in the
opened.
blender. Yep. Figured that out. I comped the whole meal for the family. I gave them a $100 gift certificate. I apologized to them. I told them I could personally, you can talk to the owner, all this. I was very calm about it. They ended up leaving us a $300 tip.
Wow.
And wrote an amazing review about me on Facebook.
Wow.
Like, I was good at my job.
Yeah.
I was killing it. I used to compare it to being Phil Jackson, because I would look at the floor like they were all my players, and I'd go, okay, you should be over here, you switch there, you switch there, you switch there. All right.
Okay, maybe I would like that. I hated being a server.
Yeah, being a server, that was cool too.
No.
Because for me, they were all networking opportunities. I'm always looking to network, one way or another.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet people. That's how I have all these crazy stories in life. All these people I met. So I didn't mind it. I think I'm not introverted at all. I've noticed that. Sometimes I want to be introverted, but I'm not. Like, I'm very balanced with that part of me. Like, I'm very extroverted that when I get home, I shut off. Don't bother me at home. I'm extremely introverted at home, but then it's like being extroverted is my job when I leave the house, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's why I used to live in the middle of nowhere on a farm, because I needed that peace.
Yeah.
My life was already so chaotic. Getting away was perfect.
Yeah.
So I was loving it. It was just my boss that made it miserable.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, my childhood best friend says I'm an introvert with impeccable social skills, which I'll say that's true.
Works.
I love talking to people for work, for business, and even sometimes for, personal enjoyment. But me recharging is me with no one.
Yeah.
And some people get recharged from being around people. But I'm
the same way. Like, I need my special mattress. I bought this really dope mattress I love. I need to be in that, or I need to be home with all the lights off, watching a movie with a meal. I have to really, really care about you to want to say, hey, let's go do nothing.
Yeah.
And there's only been maybe 2 people in my life that I can say, I would do nothing with you.
Yeah.
And it would be the greatest moment of my life.
Yeah.
And that is my nephew and then someone else. But that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way too. I definitely feel like in my me time hours, there might be 3 people that I can think of.
They won't drain you.
That they won't drain me. I don't feel like I need to speak or I need to act a certain way or I need to. It's just almost like just coexisting without a word. Sometimes
like,
many
I could just
words.
scroll on TikTok next to you.
Right,
and it
exactly.
Won't,
It won't even. It won't.
It's just great. Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't even know how that came about, but what's your favorite part about being a photographer?
Oof. Every day feels like the field trip experience. So you remember when you were a kid and you would go on a field trip.
I don't even talk about the dewy
and
mornings.
But let's say you would go to, I don't know, not even a sneaker factory. It was always something corny, like, we're going to go visit a blacksmith.
Right.
And you're learning about being a blacksmith and you're talking to a blacksmith you know you're not gonna be a blacksmith. But for some reason, it just felt so fun. Like, let's be real, the aquarium, it's a boring trip.
Yeah.
Do you remember that section? I don't know if you've been to the Maritime Aquarium with the knots.
Oh, yes, yes.
That's not fun. But for some reason, it's fun knowing that you're not in school today.
Exactly.
And every day on the job feels like that field trip experience.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
you know, today I'm working with soccer players. Tomorrow I'm working with fashion models. The next day I'm working with pig farmers. The next day I'm working with people who farm flowers. And the next day I'm working with real estate developers. And I'm constantly learning from them. Because the way I work is I spend time with my clients before I shoot them. And the reason I do that is because my style of photography is very documentary and organic. So a lot of times, like I've been in shoots where I could have got hurt very, very bad, but I needed to be in their zone so that I know exactly what they do. So I've been with chefs in kitchens where I've burned my hand. I've got a knife. I got stabbed in my back once.
From the kitchen?
Yeah, in a kitchen. But this was just me learning what it takes so that when I'm in the kitchen, I'm not in your way.
Ooh,
And that's a big thing, especially we just did a job last month. This was for the James Beard Award event, and that's a very big event. They were at this really nice restaurant, but the kitchen's tight. And the chef goes, I don't know, man. I don't know if you're going to fit in there. Number one, I know the chef for years, so like I didn't need the little pre-interview. I didn't need that. We're friends at this point. But I know what it was like to work in tight kitchens from working with him and with other chefs. So I brought my wide lens, and I said, all right, it's fine. I know what to do. He didn't prep his staff or anything because Danny knows what it takes to be in the kitchen, especially at this level of the industry.
Right. For a night like this. I didn't get in
anyone's way. Exactly. I didn't get in anyone's way. I've been at soccer games or soccer practices for athletes where I've gotten kicked in the face by a ball coming at you from a professional athlete. Imagine that, like boom, right in the face. I keep shooting. It doesn't affect me. And
one eye is closing.
Like I tell people all the time, I'm a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
If I'm in your way, push me. What you would do to somebody in your way, do it to me. Don't worry about the gear. There's a reason my gear is expensive. It can take a beating. I was at a game in Costa Rica, and two players come running after me. One fouled the other one. When you push someone, you can't control how you fall.
No.
I get out of the way. I didn't realize my Canon was on the floor. He kicked my Canon with a $1,200 lens. Canon goes flying. Everyone goes, the camera! I was like, no, just leave it. It's fine. And I went back to shooting. I go to pick up my Canon, wipe it off, I'm good to go.
What Canon was that?
This was the 5D Mark IV. It's a brick. But the thing is, I know what I'm using, right? So I know what my gear can take. When I was in the same place, Costa Rica, it was raining, pouring rain. We're living in the rainforest, right? So it's pouring. I'm out there with my camera, no umbrella, no nothing, just shooting. Because my stuff could take it. That's what it's for. Right. I buy my equipment so that I could do my job the best I can.
Wow.
And that's what it's for.
Wow.
People say gear doesn't matter. Well, that's not true. Depends on the job. I mean, I get it. You should learn how to use the crappiest camera so you know what it does. I'm a big believer in learning all the rules and then break them. But as you get higher in this industry, you do realize gear does matter. Yeah. To an extent. 100%. I mean, to take a still photo, gear doesn't matter. To be honest with you, it doesn't. But to actually get different types of photos, it does matter. Yeah. Depending on what you want. You want athletes, you can't go and get an athlete photo, with a Rebel T2i and think you're going to get the shot 100% of the time. Right. It's probably not going to happen. Right. But with my camera, 30 photos per second, I'm going to get the right shot. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to see when that bat hits the ball. Yeah. I'm going to catch that. Like, that's a given. Some cameras only shoot 5 photos per second. Right. Good luck with that. Yeah.
You were mentioning an incredibly long list of different photography styles you have. And I'm constantly trying to combat the jack of all trades, master of none saying because...
Well, you heard of that whole saying? That's not the whole saying.
Oh, wait. Please
We've been
enlighten
lied
me.
to.
Please enlighten
We've
me.
been lied to. Oh, that's the crazy part.
Stop. They're clipping it?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. This is why I hate when people quote things all the time. Jack of all trades, master of none, though often better than a master of one.
I want to scream. I want to scream.
And that's the thing that people don't realize. Like, everyone told me to stick to one style of photography.
Yeah.
But, you know, I shot sports. Sports took me around the globe. I learned a lot from sports. I got deals with Adidas, Nikes, MLS, shooting sports. A lot of photographers who shoot fashion and landscapes have reached out to me. How did you get that shot? That's impossible. That's impossible, blah, blah. I go, what do you mean it's impossible? If you know your camera, increase your shutter speed. But what about grain? Bring down your f-stop. But what about, you know, ISO, blah, blah, this and that? Well, just make sure the light is in the right place. It's not that hard. You know, they realize like, oh wait, I could do the two. Yeah, you can do that. Literally remember what your camera does. It's all math, right? As I'm learning sports, one thing it taught me is to be quick. So that basically got me ready for documentary photography. You have to be quick.
Yeah.
And I learned my camera. So I shoot a lot with auto ISO. And I bracket my ISO to whatever highest point I want. With my camera, I think I could do 10,200 with very, very little grain. So I go the highest, 10,200. And literally I just shoot. The camera changes the ISO. I'll leave my f-stop at whatever, and I don't have to worry about changing my settings.
Right.
It just goes. You know, if I'm shooting sports, I'll do shutter speed like 800 to 1,000, and then let the auto ISO take care of the rest.
Yeah.
If I'm working in a kitchen, I will do my shutter speed to like 400, f-stop 2.8, and then don't let the ISO go past, you know, 1,600 or whatever. So you have to know how to use your gear. I'm learning now with fashion photography is I have to learn poses and angles. But that's not up to me and the camera. That is up to me, but that's not up to the camera. But I'm constantly challenging myself. Like I said, I reverse engineer things, right? So I'm constantly learning. When I learned photography, it took me 2 weeks. I was up all night for 2 weeks straight, learning, taking photos of a jar of peanut butter. You know, I already knew what I wanted to get, so I would figure out how to get that shot. I would see the difference between short exposures, long exposures of that same jar in the same place. What happens if I shoot the jar with flash? What happens if I shoot it without flash? What happens if I lower the f-stop and bring down the ISO? Like I really figured out, and that's how I do it. So I put out an announcement a couple weeks ago looking for models to practice shooting film. And that's what I've been doing this week is learning film. And while I'm learning film, I'm learning strobe photography, which is a whole different ball game. I have to figure out how to properly do it.
Is strobe photography when your camera is connected to the light and then it goes off at the same time?
It's like a flash.
Okay,
it's basically it's flash photography.
Okay, perfect.
So I didn't really know about flash photography. I didn't realize it was that good till a friend of mine and her boyfriend, they're both photographers. They said, you should get a flash. And they helped me get the right flash. And I shot with it and I was like, okay, it's just doing what flash does. And then I took pictures of people outside with a flash.
Yeah, that's when shit gets different. Yes. It's like, did I superimpose this person in a place that they're not actually at? Because this is crazy.
But then I went to go shoot an event a couple weeks ago with a 70 to 180 millimeter lens. And I'm using a flash, right? I'm like, okay, it's an event. I'm that far because I couldn't get close to the people because I was shooting the mayor of New York City and I couldn't get close to him, obviously. So I'm thinking, what the hell do I do? Okay, let me bring the flash. I bring the flash. I took pictures without the flash and with the flash to really see the difference. Oh my goodness. I never want to shoot without a flash again. Never again. I just did a shoot.
Even with inside?
Even inside. Yeah. I just did a shoot for someone here, some woman here for a magazine. And these weren't working at the time. So I brought my flash. Huge difference. The light was like this. You didn't really need it.
Yeah.
But wow, it was insane. What convinced me
Yeah.
to go to Flash this month was I met this big food photographer in New York City, and I noticed he had a Flash, and I didn't know him at the time. So I looked up his work after the event. I was
Blown away.
flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're a huge deal. Thank you
Yeah.
for talking to me. And thank you for the lessons you gave me today. And I actually reached out to him for advice the next day on flash photography, and it was a great help. Like
Yeah.
I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
Right now I'm learning film and I'm learning flash. I'm learning that when you're shooting film, I hate grain. I really hate grain. If I'm shooting film, it has to look digital, which is kind of backwards, but that's how I want it to
No,
look.
because there's that fine line
Yeah.
of, is this film?
Uh-huh.
Is this digital? Yeah.
And that's what I like,
Yeah.
right? So this is why I never shot film until now. And I'm realizing if you want good images in film, you need a ton of light. But, so I'm practicing with this, which is a very
Yeah.
expensive practice right now. But I'm realizing when I'm shooting darker skin tones, I should overexpose. But when I'm shooting lighter skin tones, if I overexpose, it's way too washed out.
Yeah. Almost no face.
Exactly.
No case.
Yes.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was able to fix some stuff in Photoshop, but I'm still learning. Still learning film, and that's how I'm able to do all these styles of photography. Is I'm learning constantly, because I never want to say no to some idea I have in my head.
Yeah.
You know, like if I have an idea to shoot underwater, I'm going to learn how to shoot underwater. You're not going to stop the creativity that's here.
Right.
This is why I got this space, so no one can put limits on my creativity.
When you want to create, you
Yeah.
can just come here. The door
I
is
come
open.
here, I do it. You should have seen it. Like we have these lights. I got more lights like this. I have more lights like that. We have different backdrops. We build stuff. We take it apart, assemble, you know, all that. We're constantly moving things around here.
So what's the deal when you have a space of this sort? Are you like, are there open hours or?
No, I can come here whenever I want.
Oh,
This is
okay.
mine.
Okay.
This is mine, 24/7. It's private.
So like even like it doesn't matter that you have to go through the lobby to get here. Like no, it's
No, we have
open,
security here.
Keys.
Everything's
yeah.
locked.
Okay,
Everything's
cool.
secure. Everyone's responsible for their own space too. Like I did the floors here. I got the floors done. I got the walls kind of painted. This I'm not painting because this wall is way too high. I'm not gonna spend time on this. But I did this wall. You know, they let us do whatever as long as we don't touch the ceiling.
Yeah.
They want to keep it the way it is. But no, we can do whatever we want. I've been here till 4 a.m. sometimes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's other artists that are here late at night. Sometimes I get bored if I'm editing photos, and I'll go to their studios and work.
Yeah.
Just watch them paint as I edit.
That's amazing.
It's awesome.
That's amazing.
Especially when you're like yesterday it was me, a painter, a musician, and another photographer just hanging out,
Wow.
talking. And we just talk about our own creative like media outlets and just have jokes, you know. Sometimes we have events here once a month where it's open for the public, and you can come in and visit all the studios. Sometimes after, we're all just like the artists will hang out in one studio and just drink some wine and crack jokes. It's dope. It's a lot of fun.
No, 100%. I find like when you were saying about how this was before we started recording, and most of your friends or people that you work with, I find the same thing is true for me too, because not a lot of people get what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
They
Like,
don't.
I have friends who ask me, so when are you done with work? And I'm like, what?
When am I done? When I'm tired. When I'm tired.
When I gotta take a shower or shit or sleep.
Yeah,
the three
exactly.
S's. Like,
Like last night I was working on an audio project and I fell asleep at the computer.
yeah.
And people were calling me like, why are you not here? You're never here. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you should take a break. I really should take a break. Like, let's be real. But this is bad time management, I guess.
But bad time management, and also when you love what you do, it's kind of hard to not continue
It's very
working.
hard. It's hard. Like, I don't have to have a camera with me and you'll see me with my phone taking photos. Because yes, I do believe that the best camera the best camera in the world is the one you have. Whatever, I get that. But Yeah, I'm always shooting something. Always. This is why I want a Leica Q, because it's small, takes amazing photos.
Packs a punch.
Yeah, but even like with my phone, I
Okay,
didn't buy the fancy one.
no case thing stresses me out.
Really? It's an
Stresses
iPhone
me
13.
out.
You got Apple Care, right? So you just. I mean, I dropped this like 30 times already.
The loopholes in Apple Care can suck my ass. So
Oh
I don't
my
want to
gosh,
hear it.
I love this.
Actually, if
This
you
is
had it in your
awesome. Like,
bathroom
look,
and
nothing happens to it. I've dropped it. I've tossed it.
is the 13 like that? I think I have the 12.
Yeah, this is the 13.
And is that its selling point, that it's like indestructible?
I don't know.
Oh,
I got the
just
cheap
rough.
one. I got the cheapest one.
Okay.
Because I don't care anymore. I used to
Yeah.
get, so before the pandemic, I had a plan. I was going to travel the world, right, and take photos. Well, travel the United States and take photos. And I wanted to vlog and do all this stuff, so I got the iPhone 11 Pro X, the most expensive one,
Yeah,
512
Max,
gigs.
X, whatever.
Yeah. A month later, COVID happens. There go my traveling plans. And I realized even when I was in Costa Rica, I never took anything with this. I always had my camera on me.
Yeah.
But I realized the photos I did take, they weren't even that fancy. It was just this moments.
Yeah.
So this time around, I got the cheapest phone possible. And to be honest, if it breaks, it breaks. I just get another one with Apple Care, and I'm good to go. And it just feels better when you hold it without a case.
Yeah.
It's like, it feels good to go raw, Just go.
That's what they say.
That's
What they say.
I don't like the case on it. I like it.
No, I think the iPhones are definitely sexier without a case, but like I don't mind the dollar.
Do you have the magnet on that one?
No.
That was another
That's
selling
the
point
major
for me
key.
because I have the magnet thing on my
On the
car, so this just hooks up. I don't need a case anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that was a selling point for me, but I think it looks good. I like it.
No, I don't think it looks bad. It looks like anxiety for me. That's what
Yeah,
it
you
looks
got to
like.
get used to it.
Yeah, no.
I drop it so many.
It's
You'd be
so
surprised.
risky.
Like, look at all these scratches.
Yeah.
But this thing is a beast. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's pretty dope. It's cool.
Okay, going back to the film thing though. Didn't know you were looking for models, so I would like to.
Yeah, we could do something. I got a couple black and white shots today.
Yeah,
I
humbly.
got about 8 more left in that roll.
Volunteer myself.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel misunderstood in your field?
Yeah and no. Yes and no. I feel misunderstood a lot in life. Yes, because I'm very animated when I work. So when I'm not in work mode, I'm quiet. I'm to myself, whatever. When I'm in work mode, which is a lot, I have ideas. I'm the type of person that wants to try everything once. Like, you want to try that pose? We'll try the pose. It might suck, it might not. There's only one way to find out, right? This is why some photographers can't stand me, or videographers can't stand me, because I don't speak photographer. I don't speak videographer. I speak creative.
Okay, break that down.
Okay, so for example, I had a photographer come here yesterday. He's looking at this and looking at what I have in the suitcase, a bunch of photo equipment. He's like, oh, this is this. I go, what's that? He's like, really? You don't know what that is? No. Why would I know what that is?
It was a term for
something? It was a
something?
term. There's like tools and terms I don't know.
Right.
For example, when people were asking me about strobe photography, I was like, to be honest, I just take a bunch of photos with different settings with my ISO. When I see it's the right ISO, that's the ISO I keep. That's how I check my lighting.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you don't meter?
No.
I don't know how to use a meter. No. When I was shooting soccer, I mean, I knew what I wanted, and I'm gonna find out how to get it. Like you see this thing right here, these mirrors over here.
Yeah.
I designed that. So what I do is I remove this diffuser, I put a cone on the light, and I shine the light at the mirror. And that reflects, the mirror looks like a window on the wall.
Oh,
So because I don't have sunlight coming in here, so I just put an orange gel on it, and it looks like a sunrise coming through the window.
Wow, because you put the tape.
Yes, so I know what I wanted, and because I don't have the equipment to do that or the window structure to do that,
You made it happen.
I made it happen.
Wow, that's actually
And a photographer came in and said, you need this light with this little attachment and this and that, this and that. I was like, for what, dude? I'll just get a $20 mirror and put some tape on it.
That is crazy.
And he's looking at me
how
like,
long did it take you to
figure that out?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks. A lot of research. Again, I'm reversing engineering. I try to figure out, how is light giving me that effect? What is the sun doing to the window that's giving me that effect? Okay, there's filters in there. These are acting like filters.
Yeah.
The sun is extremely bright when it's there, as opposed to up here. It's extremely bright there, so the light travels straight. And I'm figuring all this out, and then I realized, okay, these lights are way too diffused, so it has to be direct lighting. How do I create that effect?
Yeah.
And then I started remembering, like, light reflects off your watch, and it keeps its shape.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, I need something reflective. I tried aluminum foil. I tried to buy a regular mirror. I looked at some other options that worked, like projectors. I tried to project the window shape. I have a projector here. That didn't work. And then after doing some research, I realized I can buy these acrylic windows for $20 and they won't break, and I could just put tape on them. And I got the effect. I can show it to you. It's pretty dope. But
yeah, I'll insert, guys. I'm gonna insert a little photo so you can see what he's talking about. Because I was wondering what that was. Wow.
Yeah, so you
and
get
that's
that.
at night, 7:57. Yeah.
Yeah, 7:57. It's pitch black as a winter.
That's so
like, you get that.
Is there anything, if you could say it to a consumer or a client, how could they help us as quote unquote small business owners?
That's tough. Oh, there's a lot of ways. I just can't pinpoint like one. I don't want to word it.
So rattle some up.
There's a few. Here's a big one. When we send you a rough draft or anything, the first copy of something, don't send us your notes until everybody has looked at it. Because one thing that I hate more than anything when I'm working with video clients, for example, is I send it to you. You're my contact person, right? I send you the video, you send me your edits. I'm almost done editing now with the new edits. You send me another email telling me that 5 other people looked at it and they added more edits.
Right.
I no longer have that video.
Right.
And also, if I do, because now I know to make a copy, if I do, their edits will affect your edits. So just don't do that. So now I tell them straight up, send it to everybody before you send me an edit, and you have a few days to give me that edit. Because sometimes I had a client take a month to send me edits. You really think that I sat here with nothing to do, waiting for your edits? No, I'm in the middle of a shoot right now, and this is a 4-day shoot. Now you have to wait, and now they're rushing me like, well, our event is tomorrow. You had a full month.
Right.
You know, that's a big one. Don't ever ask me for raw footage unless you're ready to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's a very big one.
Yeah.
And if I am looking for models, for example, right? I'm looking for models. If I'm doing a project, I'm doing the project. I will tell you when I'm done, and I'll give you the stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like right now, I'm doing a
like
project.
Collaborative work.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's not collaborative.
No, it's your work.
Sometimes it's my work, and I asked you if you could do me a favor.
Right.
You don't have any say in that project.
No.
Like, if you invite me over for dinner, I'm not going to go to your house and tell you how to cook it.
Yeah.
You're inviting me. Or what to cook, exactly.
Or
I might say I'm allergic to
out.
something, like, hey, I'm allergic, just so you know I'm allergic, blah, blah. Yeah. Like...
Very good example.
Yeah, I was going to add something, but,
yeah.
you know, I'm going to just stay at the cooking is a great way to describe it. But, yeah, that's a thing. And honestly, just leave me alone. When I'm editing, just leave me alone. I've had clients who are, can I come over and edit with you? No.
What?
No, you can't do that.
Wait,
Not my house, but like come to the studio.
No, I'm still equally as appalled.
Yeah, like, no, you can't. You have a job to do. Go do your job.
Right.
Go do your job. I had one client who would bug me over my shoulder a lot, to the point where their business partner reached out to her and said, how about you guys to switch places? Let him run the company, and you can do the videos.
Yeah.
And she was like, why?
Because at this point.
Yeah, she was like, listen, you're behind on work trying to do their job.
Right. Micromanaging.
And they saw it in my face. It's not even micromanaging. It's that people love what I do so much that they want to do it and they want to be there. So they think this is a learning opportunity. I don't have time to teach you. I actually do one-on-one classes sometimes.
Yeah.
Sign up for those. But this is not a teaching moment. This is a working moment.
Yeah.
I don't want to teach you how to do my job. No. And it has nothing to do with me thinking, oh, you're going to do it yourself and never hire me again. Honestly, if you're that type of person, I don't want to work with you anyways. Right. But yeah, there's a time and place, but I don't do your job because I don't want to do your job. Because I really believe I could do anything. So if I wanted to do your job, I could do it. But I don't want to do that job. I want to do my job. Go do your job. Let me handle this. You handle that. And then you tell me your edits. Let us do our job. Yeah. Let us do our job.
Final answer. Let us do our job.
Yeah, for real. Let us do our job.
And
stop asking us for free stuff all the time.
I know.
No, these are dope. You don't need a camera for these.
Wow.
You don't. You could just turn it on and we could just talk.
Wow.
We can literally go out, get coffee, and talk while we're having coffee. No camera, and it'll record the podcast.
Stop.
That's why I got this thing.
Wait, so you're telling me I could do car podcasts?
Yes, I've done them. I've done them.
Okay, how much is it?
I think it's like $300.
$300
Yeah.
Today, actually today.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get them
$300.
today.
Yeah.
And selling the Yeti on
It's
Facebook
dope.
Marketplace.
I hate the Yeti.
Yeah.
I hate it. When people get it, I'm just like, why? There's so many other things you can get for cheaper that are better. But they do great marketing. So I get it.
Yeah.
But no, you take these, right? You put them on the visor, you clip them to the visor, and just put that in your pocket or whatever, you're good to go. You'd be surprised how many things we do on that.
Oh my God. Do you know how many podcasts are going to happen now that you've brought this
Because I was
going
to do a podcast series when I got these.
Yeah.
And the first episode I did was with my boy Daniel. I picked him up in Brooklyn. We just drove around and had coffee.
Stop, because that's so fucking organic.
That's the whole point. He'd walk in the car, I'd go, wait. What's up, man? How you doing? As soon as he got in the car, put the mic on. Because that was my style of doing things, is I realized I have better conversations before the podcast than I do during. So, slap this on. How are you?
Yeah.
Now we can shake hands. And it was beautiful. Yeah. It was no intro, nothing, just straight to it.
And that's what I meant when I was like, are you going to be a visual person too? Because I feel like there's some people in my life where we just have these conversations all the time. And it's like, you can't worry about that visual aspect
you can't.
sometimes.
Like, to me, I learned to ignore it now. I'll look at it. If I'm saying a joke and I want him to laugh, I'll look at it. But I don't care anymore. I'm around so many friends with cameras, and I realize at the end of the day, if I meet you in person, I meet you in person, right? You're going to see my face, whether it's on camera or in person. So what does it matter?
No, yeah,
the same way I look in there, I look in person.
It's very true.
I might just look better in there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I might be like that Kanye line. I look better in real life. Who knows? But who cares?
I definitely look better in real life.
Because if we want to be these successful people, we have to be used to these cameras, right?
Yes.
We have to. So now I'm just like, okay.
Right.
Take the photo. I'm going to ignore it. Do what you got to do. I'm good to go. I stopped caring at this point. The only thing I care about is what comes out of my mouth. Rather than what I sound like. I want to make sure
everything that's put out there with your face and name and company and brand connected
my mouth
to
has got me in trouble so many times.
Right.
Now, that's probably why I didn't do a lot of these things, but now I feel like I've matured and I've gotten more control of what I say and my thoughts. So now I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's talk. I haven't said any names.
Right.
I haven't said any names. I haven't said any real situations.
Yep.
I'm sure when people see this, they might be like, I know who he's talking about. Good for you.
Yeah, you might.
Good for you. I'm an open book. I'm an open book. I believe in transparency and vulnerability being a strength. So
yeah, 100%.
It's what it is.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yes, I don't care. It's not like it's one of my. If it was my interview, someone's crying. Like,
Someone's crying?
Oh, I go in. This is why I used to get hired a lot for video. I'd say, just give me the guidelines, because I'm going to get the shot I want. The way, so me and my photography partner, Gary, even Donovan, like we used to have, well, I started this thing. Tiers mean dollars, right? So the more tiers we get, the more money we're going to make. It's gotten to the point where we play these videos and my boys would text me like, look over to the left by the clock. They're crying. Yes, we did it. That's a win. We got tiers. We're good. Even when I'm interviewing, like I know how to interview people, and when they cry, I did this one interview where the client wanted to interview them, right? It's my job, but they wanted to do it. So I was like, all right, you interview them. The woman starts crying. The interviewer / client goes, oh, you don't have to cry. I'm like, yo, no. So after I said, listen, when they cry, just look away. Because they were about to give you an extra sentence that would have been the money shot.
You stopped it.
Lost it. You lost it. Just let them flow. So then I did it, and they start crying. So I had to stay quiet. I looked away, because sometimes people are embarrassed to cry in front of you, right? Especially a stranger. So I just look away, let them have their moment. It could be 5 minutes. I might just be wasting film, but it's worth it. That's why you get the right gear, right? But it's worth it. Because when you start editing and you add the nice soundtrack to those tears, oh, it's magic. Sometimes I'll start shedding tears while editing. Oh my God.
That's when you know.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Not everyone's comfortable on camera.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. Even the clients I've had who need to be, right? We're recording something for their business, for their brand, and they know that I'm going to be in front of the camera today, and it's still not what it's supposed to be.
That's why I do the pre-interview thing, or I'll go. It's not just so I can learn what they do, but it's also so they can get comfortable with me and I can figure out how they are. So I had one client actually say, I forgot what joke I said. They're like, hey, you don't got to do that. I was like, I kind of do. They're very uncomfortable in front of the camera. Because they were asking me, like, why do you always, like, you don't go straight to work? Like, come on, we're on a time crunch. And I was like, you can't do that. These are the main people we need to film.
Yeah.
They're not in a rush.
Yeah.
You're in a rush. And it's not even your job. It's my job and him. Like, it's me and him. You can go do what you got to do. But that's how I break the ice. Sometimes like, oh, you went a little too far. I said, no, I didn't. Look at them. Now they're comfortable. They're very comfortable now. Now they can talk. Now they're relaxed. They can open up. They're crying. They're laughing. This is why I say the questions are guidelines. Just tell me, you already know the answer you want, right? You want them to say that on May 26th, you know, they lost their best friend and you want them to cry. Okay. I'm not going to ask them what happened on May 26th. It's stupid. Let me know what you want. Give me the questions as guidelines. I will get him to talk about it. I said, so let's talk about May. You know, what I love about May, and we'll have a conversation. They'll say May 26th on their own, and it's genuine. Because sometimes you won't get that emotion until you get the steps leading to that breakthrough moment, right? So you have to take them on a walk. To get to that breakthrough moment, and then you have it, and then you got the tears, and then you get called back for another job because you killed it. That's how you do it.
I always relate things back to personal training because that's my first love. But you can't do anything with cold muscles. So you always have to warm up.
You have to warm them. You have to. Like
because you could, right? But you won't get the correct results, and there's a higher risk of injury. Yeah. So you need to warm up those muscles.
You do, and honestly, that I think is the funnest part. That's why I said when I was trying the podcast thing, as soon as I saw you, take it, because the warm up was just as good as the actual interview.
Better.
Sometimes better.
If not better.
Yeah. So this is really the best way to do it for me, and it worked. Like it worked a lot.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that my clients will say, I could put money on it. Like, I'm very real with them, very transparent. I had this one client, I went to go meet with him. He actually got comfortable and invited me to his house for a meeting at his house. So I went, he's offering me a beer, all this stuff. And I was like, no, thank you. And then he said it. He goes, I want to work with you a lot. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, you look like you're going to give us what we want. Let me show you what our old videographer gave us. And he showed me. He goes, I hate it. It looks too corporate. It looks so old school. It looks like an insurance company video.
Oh, hate those.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I know what you want. He's like, you do? I go, yeah. Based on your house, you offering me a beer, all this stuff, I know who you are already. The fact that I called you man or dude and you didn't look at me differently, that says a lot. So let me show you what I can do. And I showed him some videos and he's freaking out. He goes, that's what we want. When can you work with us? Like, when are you free? And we did it, and they've been my longtime client now for a while, and it worked out.
Amazing.
Because some of, times have changed, and we have to move with the times, right? We can't stay stuck. And a lot of these clients just want trust. It's not, talent gets you in the door. Everybody's got talent, though. There's lots of guys that are more talented than me. There's lots of guys that I'm more talented than. But my clients trust me. Trust and character keeps you in the room, and the talent gets you in the room. And some other videographers have trust with other clients that I want, but it is what it is. But honestly, that's the second part to it.
Yeah.
Everybody can take a photo if they really try. It's not that hard. But if they trust you, you're good. You're set.
Trust and communication. My clientele, it's not always a photography gig. My clientele, sometimes I'm going to be working with you for the next couple of years, right? Managing your social presence. We're working with you every day in-house, shooting, and everything like that. So I always say,
that's a lot.
Month trial, just to know if it works. Because you might like my work and thank you so much, but that doesn't mean that we will work well together. There has to be an open and great line of communication for me to be able to work with someone. I just had someone recently, and I haven't spoken about this publicly, professionally gaslight me, and it was the first time I had someone tell me something didn't happen when me and their partner have text messages up there of it happening. And so I did what I do best, and I wrote how I felt, and I gave them dates with all of the, the following. Good. But yeah, I was like, okay, this is absolutely not going to work.
Sometimes you have to.
This is absolutely not going to work. Yes. I mean, shit, I'll take it in a relationship, but professionally?
In a relationship?
Oh, hell no.
Sometimes you have to.
Oh, hell
Sometimes you have to.
No.
I had a couple run-ins with clients that some of them I don't work with anymore. One guy actually, this guy, I'm not going to say names, this person, it's a guy now, but this person, they wanted me to do a job because they wanted to work with me, right? I didn't want to work with them because I felt a little funny about them. I didn't want to work with them. I told them, I don't do these types of jobs. It was a job.
You were about to give
yeah,
it
because
away.
if I say what it is, it's obvious because I don't do these, and that's the one time I did it. I said I don't do these jobs. They said, come on, just do it, blah, blah. I gave them a ridiculous rate because I didn't want to do it. They said, all right, great.
And you were like, shit, all right.
I said, all right, but I just want you to know, if it's trash, it's trash. Like, if it's bad, it's bad. I didn't use the word trash. I said, if it's bad, it's bad. They said, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We don't care. They always say we don't care. I do the job. Oh, it's horrible. It was a horrible job. The video looked horrible.
Okay, now I'm going to have to know if it was actually horrible.
No, it was
because
bad.
I don't.
It was bad. I can't even say what it is.
Okay, we'll talk
I'll
about
tell you
it
after, but it was bad. He calls me, curses me out.
Oh, wait, it was actually bad. I thought you were being humble.
No, it was bad. He calls me, curses me out, said it's the worst thing he's ever seen, and he says, this is garbage. You gave me a bunch of garbage, and we paid you for this. I'm like, I told you I don't do this. I told you I don't do this. He goes, no, this is complete trash. You wasted my time, blah, blah. And then he has the nerve to say, is there something you want to tell me? I said, no, I'm good. Are you done? And I just hung up on him. Never spoke to him again.
Yeah.
Later, I found out that he tried to take one of my clients and said, oh, yeah, I've worked with Daniel before. I can do this for you at a little lower rate than he does. my clients and me are homies. They called me up, say, hey, you know this guy? You ever worked with him? I said, nope. Well, he just tried to offer us your services. He was going to do the ball for the X amount of dollars. I said, really? Interesting. Okay, well, you guys can work with him if you want to. I don't care. They go, no, we're not going to work with him. But just letting you know, whoever this guy is, he's looking after or looking out to get your clients. I said, thank you very much. I didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I still run into this person a lot, and nothing I can do. People will do what people do, you know, but still, you get those situations. I've had the gaslighting clients before. I've had the rude clients. I've had the racist clients.
Ooh, racist clients.
Oh, those to me are amazing, because I have this thing where I'm going to have fun with this. You can't hurt my feelings. Rudy Recinos is my father. No one can hurt me more than he did growing up.
Right.
And those words, trust me, if I could deal with that, you can't do this. And if you see my team, it's just like a bunch of comedians. Like, you know what comedians do to each other.
Yeah, we're just ripping apart.
Yeah, so this
Every
one
day.
guy came in. Well, I came in, did a shoot at his house. This was right before when COVID rumors were starting. He said, you know, when you came down the driveway, I was a little nervous because you looked a little urban. Oh, I said, okay, take a deep breath. Make this one count, because now it's fair game. Now it's fair game. And he was Chinese. And I said something about me being nervous going to his house because of COVID in China. And his wife was there. You could tell when he did the urban thing, her face turned red. Yeah. When she heard the COVID-19 and China joke, she started bursting out laughing because he got really red and embarrassed. And you can hear her in the room. That's what you get for being an ignorant fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But it happens sometimes.
It happens.
But I think some of my clients know. You see my team. I work with people that grew up in my environment. We won't take just anything. Yeah. You know, we got a very strong team. We're not we take care of ourselves. We can handle ourselves. So we're good. Yeah. We're good. And we're not afraid of stuff. Like, we had a woman here at a nonprofit. I work with them a lot, but they had a Santa Claus thing at all the projects in Bridgeport. And she called me and she said, listen, I know you don't do this type of work. And her telling me that said a lot to me. It said that you really do see value in me and you value me. And, you know, she said, I know you don't do this type of work, but every photographer we've reached out to is giving us an issue because they're scared to work in these projects. To be honest, I grew up here. I have friends and family here. Like, I'm not gonna be scared of going into the worst projects of Bridgeport to take photos of kids. If kids live there, then I can go there.
Right, exactly.
Like, come on,
it's
really?
So crazy.
Like, what is wrong with
it's
people?
So crazy.
So I couldn't do it because I had another event. But Gary, my photography partner, he did it, and even he's looking at it like, why are people scared? Like, what is going on?
It's so crazy.
And I think that's another reason why our clients like us. We had another client. We had an event last year, and she actually was crying, speaking at the event, you know, saying, I want to shout out Daniel and his team, because when nobody wanted to be out here during COVID, they came out here, full mask, full gloves, full everything, and were there to help document and help us with the people we were helping that were sick. Like, we're not scared. We get the shots that we need to get. Yeah. You know, we don't. What are people going to do? If people yell at us, we yell back. If people are rude to us, then we can handle it professionally. We're professionals. That's what we do.
I think that goes full circle to the transparency and vulnerability piece.
I always used to say this, right? If you want to solve a puzzle, all the pieces need to be on the table. Right. If you hold back one piece, the puzzle will never be solved or complete. And that's the reality of it. That's how I am. And that's probably why it's hard for some people to stick around, or the friends that I have are so tight, because some people don't want to be transparent. Some people don't want to be vulnerable. And it's just, put the pieces out here. If you feel a certain way about me, put the piece on the table.
Let me know.
Let's talk about it. It can be resolved. And some people just don't want to do that. Yeah. That's why the certain clients, if you're an asshole, then be an asshole. That's who you are. I can work with that. don't be nice to me and then be an asshole to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then be nice again. It's just, how do you really feel?
Right.
You know, so I appreciate the transparency and honesty. I'm the same way. Some clients don't like it. One client actually said, I said, it might be an issue to get this and that, blah, blah. And they're like, why would you tell me that? Well, because I'm being honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I can do something and I can't do it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try my best to do it. And I'm going to show you how I got there. And if I can't do it, I can't do it. But if I did do it, thank God we did it.
Right.
You know, you're going to get that trust. One of my best clients, it sucks. I was doing a shoot with 2 cameras and one of the cards is corrupted. I lost half their footage.
I know. There's literally nothing
They
you
were
can
pissed.
do.
They were pissed and I felt horrible because they're one of my top 3 favorite clients. Before that, we had a client where a whole hard drive crashed. A 2 terabyte
2 terabytes
crashed. It was going to cost me $2,000 to recover the footage. I prayed so much. And one day, for some reason, it just connected. And I bought a hard drive and I said, we got to transfer this now.
Fucking now.
And it took 2 days straight. I didn't touch anything on the computer. And we got the footage out and I saved it. But I did tell the client, like, listen, your hard drive's broken right now.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do. We're going to figure this out.
We're in resolution mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The only reason I'm stopping this is because I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah. Like, there is no other thing that Rennie can do right now but go to the bathroom.
Can you keep that in the footage?
Huh?
This whole thing that just happened with your bathroom?
Yeah. I'm going to keep it in because it's a problem for me.
So it's to the right.
Okay.
On the hall to the right.
What I won't do, though, is I won't bring you in the bathroom with me.
That's fine.